Coming up on Extended Play, we visit with Xulu Entertainment to check out the future of gaming. We gather our warlords for a review of Kessen 2. And we help you save the world from the evil Nostra Corporation with our strategy guide for Spy Hunter. Stick around, it's game time. Hello and welcome to Extended Play from Metreon in San Francisco. I'm Adam Sessler.
And I'm Kate Botello. Games like EverQuest have introduced us to the concept of a persistent virtual world, which is basically like a universe in cyberspace that goes on perpetually in real time. The problem is that most of the denizens of these worlds are always just trying to achieve the same goal.
Now, what if you're able to go into that world and divert yourself and just have a little fun? And what if you could access that world from both your living room and a nightclub? Well, a company named Xulu is working on this very thing, and this concept is very much in motion. See it for yourself. There have been many attempts at creating virtual worlds online, but unlike the current crop of massively multiplayer games, the folks at Xulu are ready to take it to the next level, as my tour guide, Jim, escorted me aboard the Adriana, a luxury space cruiser orbiting an alien world. Well, Jim, thank you very much for transporting us here today. Let's just begin. What were the origins of Xulu Entertainment?
Well, a group of us were sitting around one day and trying to decide what the most interesting and fun part of computing could be in the future. And because we're simulation experts, we said, you know, if you could really run a true simulation of reality, which is physics and mechanics, it would really add a big dimension. The reward, if you do that right, is you get a level of reality, a level of immersion that's just way beyond what computer gaming has been able to do in the past.
So what is the ultimate vision for the Xulu universe?
We want a large, consistent universe, or at least a solar system, which feels like a real place. And in this world, there's not just one little thread of gameplay. There are multiple threads of gameplay, just like it is in the real world. For example, some person might be a car fanatic, and so we've got some ground-based vehicles in this alien place, which would appeal to them.
Now, how will people be playing it? Now, we have the idea that there's going to be, let's just start with sort of the public places, these bars, nightclubs that you're looking at.
So there are really a couple of distinct ways that they'll interact. The most obvious way, and actually the most fun way, would be come to a physical site, which we call a Xulu showcase site. Get into vehicles which have really high quality controls and full motion, surround visuals, surround music, but you can also come in from home. In fact, you can come into the same universe from home and then mix with the folks who are in this physical site, the showcase site.
Well, obviously, this sounds terribly compelling, and there is some stuff that are prototypes here, so let's go check them out.
Let's go look at it.
The first thing I wanted to try was Condor, a gliding sim that has players collecting crystals and shooting them into giant baskets. The simulation pods themselves sported realistic force feedback controls, and best of all, the pods actually moved in 6 degrees of freedom.
Okay, Adam.
All right.
We are launched.
Now, you are controlling the craft, and I am doing to collect the crystals here.
You are the guy who's going to pick these babies up if I can fly good enough. Let's see, if I dive too fast, I'll bump into another guy, but let's take the... Oh, we did.
Now, how expansive is all of this land? If you're actually in actual, how many virtual miles is this area?
You can actually go clear around the planet here. So it's thousands of miles. The terrain is built right ahead of us using a mathematics of fractals. That looks good.
Yes.
Let her go with the left hand. Perfect shot. We scored. We scored. Not bad.
While Condor seemed a little tame for my taste, I had another thing coming when they fired up a game of Dominion, which could be described as capture the flag in high-speed Doom buggies. Now, you are in the driver's seat, and you're going to be controlling the car, and I'm sitting next to you, and I'm actually manning the cannon here. We also have this map here that, in rear view, there.
That's fun, because you can see what you're up to. Uh-oh, hey, we got incoming, baby. Tell you what, let's run for the flag.
All right.
Hey, the flag is there, although mortar's coming in.
There we go. We found the flag.
Yeah, now we'll see if
we're going to make that run for home.
We get tumbleweed. Get a beat on him. Close enough. Oh!
And
Must have been somebody else behind us. Not going on the edge.
Yeah.
Falling over the side.
And so, after getting thoroughly spanked in Dominion, I left with the feeling that once this all comes together, the Xulu universe just might be a nice home away from home. While Dominion is quite a bit of fun to play, let me just say that if Quake makes you feel a little funny in the tummy, you have no idea what it feels like to be playing that game. And now, the game news. A boon for the Xbox has brought dismay to Dreamcast owners. Confirming growing suspicions, Sega of America has announced that Shenmue 2 will only be released for the Xbox in North America. The game, once thought to be the last great title for the discontinued system, has already been released for the Dreamcast in Japan. The expected release date for the Xbox Shenmue 2 is currently fall 2002. In cross-platform Sega news, Phantasy Star Online is headed to the Xbox. In addition, the online role-playing game will also become available for the PC, while plans for the GameCube version seem to be moving along just fine. Coming up on Extended Play, we make a pact with a little devil named Stan in Okage, Shadow King, and take a trip to the world of medieval Chinese warfare in Kessen 2. Welcome back to Extended Play.
There are lots of classic buddy pairings for games and stories. A boy and his dog, a boy and a girl, and in this case, a boy and a Shadow King. In Japan, this game was released as The Devil and I.
Or my favorite translation, Me and Satan King. Okage Shadow King is the story of a boy who makes a deal with the devil to save his sister. And in this case, the devil isn't a particularly bad guy. In fact, he's not even scary. Okage Shadow King is a role-playing game that tries so hard to be inventive, it forgets to be a good RPG. You play Ari, a boy who's made a pact with Stan, the evil king. Why deal with the devil? Ari's sister, Annie, was left cursed by a random ghost attack. Stan promises to save her if Ari helps him take over the world. Okage plays like a traditional RPG, and with any traditional RPG, you have a large supply of non-player characters to talk to and borrow from. As you take Ari around, he runs at a smooth rate. However, things slow down during load times, which can be unbearable for the impatient. Other than town and countryside exploration, you'll have to deal with the game's overly simplistic dungeons, which involve the task of defeating urns. Yes, you fight large jars. Unfortunately, this element of the game gets old really fast. Okage is loaded with lots of side quests, which become a major point of frustration. Firstly, the rewards of the side quests make little impact on your game's success. Secondly, certain items needed to fulfill quests are difficult to find. Xenoworks had a good thing going with the premise of Okage, plus some one-of-a-kind character designs, but there aren't enough redeeming factors to save it. We give Okage Shadow King a 2 out of 5. While far from perfect, Okage's humorous and unique approach to the rather stale RPG genre is a welcome change. Hopefully, other game developers will take notice. The original Kessen was a PS2 launch title, and this medieval Japanese strategy game was found to be quite difficult and sometimes boring by many gamers. Kessen 2 brings in many fantasy elements and tries to simplify the gameplay, but has something been lost in the process. Kessen 2 marks Koei's return to the ancient mythology behind their Romance of the Three Kingdoms title. Okay, first the plot. Liu Bei allies with Cao Cao to bring down the Han dynasty. But these two soon find themselves at odds when Cao Cao turns towards evil to accomplish his ends. He then captures Liu Bei's love and imprisons her, setting this great battle into motion. Now, once you get past the lovely and slightly lengthy intro, it's finally time for the gameplay. There are 30 campaigns to fight, and you must select battle units and move them into position using an overhead map. Units move slowly, which is realistic, but a tad on the dull side. When fights break out, you can watch like a bystander, or you can move in close and possess an individual commander. That's where the action begins, letting you fight and maneuver at will. The controls are a bit sluggish, however, and the gameplay mainly consists of mashing the attack button.
And there will not be a single knight's peace until we have won the war!
Although the dub translation is pretty bad, the music is quite beautiful, orchestral, with an interesting mix of Western classical motifs and eerie Chinese composition. All the units are well rendered, colorful, and the animations pop off the screen. Things look great, as good as any animated film, but that visual impact comes at a gameplay cost. We give it a 3 out of 5.
Kessen and Kessen 2 are entirely different titles, so if you have a favorite, drop us a line and let us know.
Coming up on Extended Play, we battle with witch doctors to win the favors of a volcano goddess in Ooga Booga. And we have a ball monkeying around with, yeah, you guessed it, Super Monkey Ball for the GameCube.
In-depth reports from the front lines of high-tech crime. Cybercrime, Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on Tech TV's Tech Prime.
Welcome back to Extended Play.
The Dreamcast was the first next-gen console, and what really made it revolutionary at the time was its ability to go online with its built-in modem.
We've seen that used to good effect in puzzle games, RPGs, and action titles. And now it's being used for an action puzzle strategy hybrid with a funny name. Here's Ooga Booga.
Ooga Booga.
Ooga. Booga. Booga Ooga.
Like the overcaffeinated and downright loony love child of the Super Smash Bros. And the Bomberman series, Ooga Booga focuses squarely on the mayhem in your multiplayer. In the game, you play a character who competes against up to 3 other Polynesian-ish protagonists to be the one who bashes, bonks, and blows up everyone else the most. The game includes 3 basic modes: the free-for-all deathmatch, Smack-a-Huna; Rodeo, where you gain points by charging into other players on the back of a boar; and Boar Polo, where you and another player ride boars attempting to knock a volcanic rock into a goal. The game controls easily, though boars can present anguish. Graphically, it's slight, but sufficiently cartoonish to keep things screwy. Sound is a winner, with giggle-worthy one-liners and some great taunts.
You can't handle the fat man.
The single-player game is primarily for training and unlocking items and characters. Here you learn modes and new spells, but it can get trying after a while. Multiplayer is where it works. Handling up to 4 players, the pace and random acts of nuttiness lend themselves to smack-talking with buddies in front of the TV.
Shiver me timbers.
Online slows the pace down considerably with severe internet connection problems. It also just seems oddly quiet, without someone to make fun of to their face. It may be light on strategy and depth, but Ooga Booga is decidedly fun, with frenetic zaniness on the level of Power Stone. We give it a 4 out of 5.
Battling with witch doctors using shrunken heads as weapons is yet again indicative of Sega's creative and oddball game-making skills. Following in that same tradition is Sega's Super Monkey Ball, placing monkeys in balls on floating platforms. It was one of the 3 launch titles for the Japanese GameCube and will be available in America for launch as well. Here's a sneak peek.
Let me guess, you've been dying for a game to let you run around as a monkey trapped in a giant ball, right? Well, my friends, your day is about to arrive. Super Monkey Ball for the GameCube is rolling this way. Your monkey in a bubble adventure starts as you get a feel for the complex controls, the analog stick. Yep, there's just one control to motivate your monkey through the course, grabbing bananas as you go. The game will come with quite a few play modes. In the main mode, you navigate your simian friend through tilting mazes that look like miniature golf courses gone crazy. You can also select from a number of really cool multiplayer games. Monkey Race is a lot like Mario Kart, except you're racing monkeys in balls. Next, you and your friends can move on to Monkey Fight. a mode that gives your monkeys big boxing gloves to knock each other out of the food chain. There's also Monkey Target, that has your monkey fling open his ball in order to take flight. He'll hang glide towards floating targets, and it's not as easy as it looks. The replay value of this game should keep you coming back again and again. Super Monkey Ball will be launching with the GameCube in November. Coming up on Extended Play, Kate helps us capture the flag with an Unreal tutorial. And we help you complete your not-so-impossible missions in Spy Hunter.
Objective failed.
All this week on Tech Live, all eyes are on Windows XP. It's making big promises, but will it deliver? Tech Live puts XP to the test. Is it faster? Is it easier? Is it worth the upgrade? Tech Live shows if Windows XP is right for you. Then, stay with Tech Live all week for continuous updates and live reports from the official release and keynote speech. Windows XP on Tech Live. All this week starting at 9 a.m. 6 Pacific, only on Tech TV.
Welcome back to Extended Play from Metreon in San Francisco.
Recently, we gave you some map-making tips using the Unreal Editor, and now we'd like to move on to what we call team stuff.
Now, there's a lot to pick up here, so you better set those VCRs or pay close attention. You ready?
I am.
Let's hit it. Hello, and welcome to Kate Simplifies Complicated Multiplayer Map Stuff. Part 2, Team Stuff. Got your number 2s ready? Let's begin. Previously, we discussed how to make a simple deathmatch level by subtracting rooms with a cube brush, adding lights, and player starts. But ask any hardcore peeps and you'll find it's all about the team games. And there's a few more things we're going to need to discuss in order to pull off a good capture the flag map. So again, we're using Unreal Tournament's excellent map-making utility, Unreal Ed. I've already subtracted a few rooms and added my lights and decorations. Now it's time to add the team starts. What we want to do is open up the Actor Class browser, and under Navigation Points, we're going to highlight Player Start. Back in our 3D view, we'll right-click on our floors and add a few player starts to each end of the level. Now herein lies the rub. We have to right-click on all the player starts that we imagine for one team, and then highlight Player Start properties. Now under the category of Player Start, we have to make sure the team number is listed as 0. And of course, we'll do the same for the other end of the level, but this time we'll assign a team number value of 1 for each of the player starts. This way, each team starts in their own base. Now it's time to add flags. Again, we're going to select the Actor Class browser, and under Navigation Point, we're going to highlight Flag Base. Back in our 3D view, we'll then pick up a spot in both bases where we'd like to place the flags and simply right-click on the floor and choose the option, Add Flag Base here. Then we'll have to right-click on our actual flag and like assigning teams. Select the flag-based properties and change the value to reflect the appropriate team. Numbers which will be a 0 or a 1. Then when we save our map after we've done a build, we need to add the prefix CTF- to whatever your map name is so that your map comes up in Unreal Tournament as a Capture the Flag level. And now you're good to go, except if you plan on using bots or CPU-controlled players, at which point there's a couple more things you need to do. Bots need to know where to stand when they're defending the base. So again, in the Actor Class browser under Navigation Point, you'll see what's called an ambush point. Open that up and then highlight Defense Point. Now back in our 3D view, we can right-click on the floor and add the defense points. Neat? The last bit of bot stuff that we need to explain to them is how to get from A to B. We do this by adding what's called path nodes. Under our Build menu, we should select Build Options, and then down at the bottom, choose Create New Path Network. Unreal Ed will actually do the rest of the work for us. So there you have it, a shiny new Capture the Flag level, and I look forward to playing one from somebody just like you. Pencils down.
Many of you are probably enjoying Midway's updated version of their classic arcade game, Spy Hunter. And despite what they say, you can teach an old spy new tricks. Good afternoon, fellow gamers. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to successfully complete the PS2's Spy Hunter. This will be no easy task. With the help of your G6155 Interceptor enhanced vehicle, you must locate and defeat the evil Noser Corporation by completing all 14 levels before their plans for world domination are set in motion. But if you adhere to these classified instructions, you will find yourself with positive results in completing the mission. First, to locate Nostra agents, be on the lookout for the following: the Bullseye, the Mad Bomber, the Attack Heli, the Water Blade, and the Road Lord. Unfortunately, Nostra agents can be found throughout the world, sporting various vehicles and disguises. To help you identify these agents, we have equipped your vehicle with a high-tech scanning device. Where you see the red is where you want to shoot. In order to destroy Nostra vehicles, your interceptor is equipped with an arsenal of offensive weapons, including stock machine guns and sensor-guided missiles. To activate your missiles, hit the L3 button. Remember to fire early. This will give the missile time to arc and gain altitude, thus saving some civilian casualties.
Objective failed.
Your scanner will also help you identify other dangers, such as bombs. It will be indicated with the yellow circle. In order to deactivate them, we have equipped your vehicle with EMP, electromagnetic pulse blasts. Now, if you think you are being followed, hold on. If you think you are being followed, activate the rear view mirror by pressing triangle. If you want to get rid of enemies from behind, we recommend the oil slick, smoke screen, and my favorite, the flamethrower. Most missions will require you to find and activate IES tracking units called SATCOMs. These global tracking units allow us to monitor your activity and replenish your supplies via the weapons van. Many times, these SATCOMs will be in hidden pathways or in the hulls of boats. For example, in Mission 5, the Riviera, there is a hidden pathway on the left after the white path behind some bushes. There's also a SATCOM hidden in the village in this house. Good luck, gamers. This strategy guide will self-destruct in 5 seconds. If you've already mastered the art of hunting spies, remember we have strategy guides at poppin' down at extendedplay.com.
Now don't forget to tune in next week for our special horror edition from the Scream Factory at Great America. We're scared already.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm quite scared.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for our show this week. So until next time, game over. Hello and welcome to Extended Play from... I forgot where it was.
Hey there, guys. Give me a hug.
Suck it up, man.
Are these space candies?